let's go to what she does next.
Yes.
Well, no. We're going to get to how we figure out where the hell MacGuffin 2 is. Because we're like, oh, MacGuffin 2? How could we ever find MacGuffin 2? She's just like, oh, wait, nope, Bing, I read all the Jedi books and texts while I was hyperdriving back here.
And who dips out of an important briefing just to go look at a book?
Yeah, I was like, oh, got it.
Well, hold on. No, she was reading it when Leia walked up to her. That was a scene.
But she has to go back to the crate of books.
She does go back to it.
She does. Specific thing. She has to go back to the crate of books to find Luke's journal, where she can specifically point out MacGuffin 2 and be like, Luke was looking for MacGuffin 2.
But didn't even, like, the thing is, like, she was like, I have a roundabout idea of where it could be. And they're like, the fate of the world rests on you going to this place where it could possibly.
Yeah, Burning Man. Ready?
Like,
Burning Man the planet. Woodstock.
Nothing about this made any fucking sense.
There wasn't enough acid for this movie to make sense, but let's proceed.
Tim, you're gonna have fun editing this one.
I'm not worried.
Look, all I gotta say is this. So we're like, all right, cool, it's on Burning Man. All right, so let's go to Planet Burning Man. We go to Planet Burning Man, and then it's
they're having Life Festival Day, whatever it's called. It's an
Ancestor worship.
It's an important celebration in the Star Wars universe.
But that isn't that. That's not the holiday special, Tim. The holiday special you can actually celebrate every year. These aliens have an ancestral worship.
Well, they talk about it in The Mandalorian too, how they have Celestial Life Day or whatever, and it's always dependent on so many years. We'll look into it.
It's every 42 years, but that
for this alien species.
Yeah, so it's different for each alien species. They talked about it before in the first episode of The Mandalorian.
Okay, cool.
Well, I'm just letting you know it is a Star Wars thing.
Okay, yeah. I guess humans have it every year.
Yeah.
Some aliens have it every 42 years. Yoda species has it every 900.
Yeah.
All I need to know is, regardless, Burning Man.
Okay.
So we get there and it's a giant rave / party / cult / religious worship and service.
I thought we were going to get like some weird Mad Max scene for a second there.
Oh, it's a desert planet, so that's the only thing that we have in Star Wars, by the way, is ice and desert, ice and desert, ice and desert. Occasional forest.
And forest, yeah, every once in a while.
Occasional forest,
and
but ice
the
and desert.
one magma planet. The one. Only one.
The one.
You were the chosen one.
By the way, if I was going to be somewhere where I had to smelt 100,000 Super Star Destroyers, it might be a volcano planet where we have just access to raw minerals and liquid metals from the earth and heat for this giant Star Forge. The Star Forge is from Corridor. But anyway, regardless, continuing on, we are here on Burning Man. And on Burning Man, we have to stop whatever we're doing. Remember that we were here for this very important quest to actually have a moment of storytelling. This is amazing. This is the only time it occurs in the entire movie. We're going through this festival, and Rey stops and gets accosted by this little bitty child alien. And is
That's
watching.
being sweet to her.
Yeah, right, because this is the only time where we can slow down and actually have this, because we have to set up this plot point. And she's just like, oh, C-3PO is translating. I am an alien. It is nice to meet you. This is my name and my family name. What's your name? Rey's like, Rey. And she's just like, what's your family name? And Rey's like,
I don't have one.
Oh.
And then she starts thinking about it, and then Kylo pops up in her brain.
Well, she gets the necklace first.
Yeah.
And then she stands up, and then Kylo starts talking to her.
For Skype.
Yeah, so another thing from The Last Jedi that I fucking hated.
Oh, no, we're about to get here, though, because this is special. All right, so we can now, because of a, what is it called? Force dichotomy is what I would like to call it, but it's something that is like...
Their special force connection because of their love for one another.
Yes.
Dia something, I forgot.
Dio, diode. So it's something that has D in it because it means two.
The Emperor named it.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Point being is, these two people are special and they're connected.
Diametry.
These two people that have been trying to find each other to beat the piss out of one another are so in love, they don't fucking know it. Makes no fucking sense.
It's because she saw him shirtless in The Last Jedi and loved that barrel chest.
It's like forced marriage.
Wait.
This dude has a 3XL torso, like...
The man used to be in the Marines, all right? The man used to be in the Marines. Respect it.
I don't care, dude.
He has a chest like a chalkboard.
Dude, his facial structure, how he looks in his outfit, nothing leads me to believe that he's got two barrels taped together under his fucking skin. None of it makes any fucking sense.
All right.
This man is wider than my hatred of this movie right now.
It shouldn't be possible, but it's true.
Dave's about to fall again, like in the blooper.
All right. My hatred sometimes turns into laughter.
So
All right,
so
I'm back.
At this point, they don't
Wait. Let's. I have to get this out before anything else occurs. Remember, in the second movie, that Snoke says, "I created this bond between the two of you."
So the Emperor did.
So the Emperor did. Remember that. Proceed.
So they don't explain this power or what it's capable of, but we do get to see this unique feature where they can share things between the Force with each other.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter where they're at, how far away they are from each other.
No limitations.
He
It could be
literally-
items. It could be your life. It could
The-
be your vision.
They're
of what you're
talking to
looking
each
at.
other, and he's looking at her, and he sees the necklace and snatches it off her, and all of a sudden it's not on her, and it's in his hand on the Star Destroyer that he's on.
Through the
Across
Force.
time and space. So let's just
This
stop here
is
for
the
a second.
power of sexual tension, y'all.
This is what happens when two Force users fall in love.
Get
No.
them a condom.
Yeah,
Something.
I know, right?
A Force condom.
Jeez
Well,
Louise.
look, all I gotta say is this is literally force transmitted, like not only just items, but
This is a new form of like STDs
I
for
know,
Force
right?
users.
You know, like when they interact through the Force, Rey is always breathing all heavy.
Because she's getting hot and bothered, man. She can't
Well,
handle
well,
it.
I mean-
Kylo's super chill, and Rey's just like,
right.
Oh my
Well,
God.
First off, all right. Let's stop.
She's like Bella from Twilight.
No. Let's be
Tim.
honest here. It's a panic response. If Adam
No.
Driver appeared, sure.
it's like he traumatized her in that one scene, and she was never the same.
It was a panic response. That's
She's like, please don't take off the shirt. Please don't take off the shirt. Not again.
Yeah, but when like his chest is like 4 of her fucking heads, like
all right. So, anywho, yes. So, because of their ability, they have the ability to ignore all the laws of physics in the known universe. Space-time continuum doesn't matter at all. We can functionally, not only can we transfer things by contact, but by our mere power being activated. The fact that they're in this
They're
mode.
God level.
To quote,
I got another
to
comment, by
quote-
the way.
To quote the first of these 3 movies, Han Solo. That's not
how
how
the
the Force works.
But regardless,
Dude, that's been a running joke this whole time.
But it's so true.
Okay, I also want to point out this one little small thing real quick as far as their connection goes. She breaks the thing that Darth Vader's helmet was
The
on,
pillar, yeah.
Yeah.
right.
and then he just leaves the fucking helmet on that planet.
No,
that's
no.
the
It
assumption.
No, it was in the room. It was in the room. He left it in the room.
No.
No. It was on
they
the snow.
They smash it, and because their ability not is just with contact, it's anything around them. What occurs?
That's how he finds out where she is.
Right. What occurs is that the snow from his side lands in his room, and Vader's helmet lands on the planet.
Yes.
Okay.
So
then-
and that's when they begin to.
Switch.
Okay, I thought it was when he smashed. I thought it was when they smashed.
So
the,
see
the-
what's really happening is that because of them two, because of how terrible the plot is, they're ripping a hole through time and space and basically making the entire universe destroy without them realizing it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
There should be. Well, no. We're gonna get to what my full summary of this movie is. I'm gonna give you guys just a little hint of it. There is no such thing as consequences
No.
in this movie. When we get to
They
the,
have Superman level like
no,
powers.
Just no. For anyone's actions, there is no consequence for anything anyone does. We're gonna get to it at the very end. That's gonna be my summary.
There is one consequence, and it's Palpatine's face.
Oh, good lord.
That's it.
Yeah, that's tragic. I don't even know what that was. We're gonna get to that too because it makes no sense. But yes.
But I'm
Jesus
just saying,
Christ,
this
guys,
this
it's gonna
Darth
be a
Vader
long
helmet
one.
that's been super important to Kylo Ren this entire time, he's just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Just like, fuck it.
Well, because now he knows the truth. That it was never Vader in the first place, right? So you might as well leave it, right? Yeah,
I mean,
guess so,
fair enough.
It never was his grandpappy.
But why did you reforge that stupid fucking helmet anyway?
Dude,
That was
just for
When
him
you
to take
refuse-
it off halfway
when you
through.
refuse to wear it. When you refuse to.
because this was another jab from JJ to The Last Jedi.
It got
Again.
It got hot, man. He had to come up out that helmet.
Yeah, because all those kyber crystals were still burning the entire way. Freaking thing's still glowing. I'm like, yo, man, is this how this is supposed to work? I thought you were gonna weld
Hey,
this.
yo, that shit looked cool as fuck, though. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, it does look cool. It just
It's hot.
it's
Ush.
emo to the core.
Put a microwave on his head.
Look,
Dude, he's
look,
got like a
look.
Lord
wonder
Farquaad
he
helmet,
was-
though.
All I'm saying is
No
that
wonder you're starting out of character in this movie.
I know, right? But he couldn't get
All the
more Sasuke
radiation.
if he tried.
Sasuke at the end of Naruto Shippuden after he's
I'm
I'm
Oh
sorry,
my
what was
God,
that?
We don't got time for that, you freaking piece of trash. Don't you start.
God.
We don't have time. We would literally spend 10 minutes laughing at you.
Shippuden.
Oh, God, please, no.
Put it on the sound.
Let's not think about it. We're going to end up laughing for 10 minutes. Let's
Okay.
not. I'm trying to contain myself. Anyway.
Hi, Matt. How are you?
Anyway. Stop, please.
I'm sorry.
We,
All right.
we're on Rave Planet. All right. And okay, so that nonsense is done. They need to go and find this freaking Jedi hunter, which is nonsense because there are no more Jedi to begin with. That Luke
No,
was
it was a Jedi hunter during Luke's younger days, after Return of the Jedi.
okay.
Either way,
Regardless, yes. So Luke and Lando, which we discovered just shortly after
Our buddies.
are buddies, and they were looking for this guy because he couldn't ask Han to spend 5 minutes of his life with him to help him.
You mean
Or
while he had a
Chewie.
kid?
Lando and Luke barely knew each other.
Yeah, and they weren't friends.
No,
But regardless,
apparently they are though.
yeah, no, right. Everything gets fixed in the end. Regardless, so we go on, and they've been working together to hunt down this Jedi hunter. And the trail runs cold because he abandons the ship in the desert, and something strange happens to him, which realistically anybody with 2 brain cells can figure out because there's. Well, we're gonna get there. So
Stormtroopers have jetpacks.
because of this interaction, they run a scan, which takes no time, by the way, instantaneous, on Kylo's ship to determine the origins, like carbon dating, for the beads that he took off her neck. Immediately discovers it. Immediately picks out the planet.
I got a
sends up-
text from Stacy saying Kylo's head is too small for his body.
It is true. Let's not think about it. I'm
Thank
trying
you,
not
Stacey.
to laugh.
Swole.
Beetlejuice.
He looks like a Baki the Grappler character.
You know
Anyway,
the-
stop.
The-
Stop.
I gotta get this one out, dang. I gotta get this one out.
Go.
You know the little mini meme of like Keanu Reeves where he's like shortened down
Yeah.
and his head's like really small? That's what it looks like.
I was telling them in the car how Adam Driver looks like he could be like Keanu Reeves' little brother.
Maybe they'll be in a movie together. Anyway, so yes, they instantaneously discovered the location based off the beats. They send a transmission telling the people that are on base, by the way, they're just first order people chilling out on this rave planet because they apparently also want to join Woodstock, to go and hunt them down. They, of course, immediately know that they're going to be hunted down, mostly because Lando's there to save their butts. So Lando picks them up out of the crowd, takes them onto this little transport, drives them around for a little bit to get them outside of the main party area, and then they immediately go off and proceed to hijack 2 speeders. Just steal from the aliens. It's okay. They take these 2 speeders into the desert where they are immediately starting to be chased down by stormtroopers on track bikes.
those are really cool, by the way. I actually
No, they're retarded.
Shut up.
No, no.
Why do they need wheels?
I don't know. They look cool.
They're track bikes in a desert. You know what's the best thing to ride in a desert?
Speeders.
A speeder. Oh, you know.
I do know.
Does it-
Custer doesn't give a fuck because it's cool.
Dude, those are cool looking.
This is why you freaking normies give Disney your money. But anyway, all I have to say about it is this.
Hurt his feelings.
I know
Yeah,
I'm
that
just
was
saying.
uncalled for.
Whatever. I'm salty. Okay.
Yeah, but don't be salty
Wait,
at him.
wait. Before that scene happens, we get the Knights of Ren and their 360 aerial camera shot.
Oh yeah,
As they pose on a random rock.
That's the advertisement for their eventual toys. By the way, that is. Yeah.
They just post up on this rock. And
They're
like,
JoJo's. Hold on, they're JoJo's.
We're
They
out
have
here.
to just pose anywhere.
But they're in all black on a desert planet, sticking out like the sorest thumb in all of existence, and they're like,
They're the
"We're
Ginyu
not hot.
Force.
We're not hot at all. This is perfectly normal clothes to be wearing here." Anyway, so this chase begins, and I can't even begin to
I
the biker troopers have friends who are jetpack troopers.
They hit a wheelie to initiate the jetpack.
and launch their jetpack friends.
And then my favorite moment, because it's fucking hilarious to me, they fly now.
Whoa,
They-
no.
yeah, Finn is upset because they do
we-
not have
we-
jetpacks.
We have to
during
get
these
this.
days.
We have to get this in order. We have to get this in order. First off, jetpack troopers have existed since the Clone Wars. So bite me. Everyone should know that a jetpack trooper exists.
But he's from the First Order. He was not around during the days of the Clone Wars.
No, it doesn't even matter. First Order has them before this movie. First Order
When?
has jetpack troopers before this movie.
When?
It's in the official freaking codex for them.
Oh, well.
I'm sorry that it isn't in the actual movie. It's just actually just a part of their standard troops. If you play Battlefront, they literally reference them anyway.
Well, Finn was just a janitor, anyways. What's he know?
Yeah, he's a stormtrooper though. He's a stormtrooper slash janitor. He says
Stormtrooping
it himself.
Janitor.
He
Yeah, I
says
know.
it in this movie. I am a stormtrooper.
Yeah, he mentions it multiple times to remind people.
Yeah, regardless. So we proceed on.
Dude, that scene with Poe where he was like, "Yeah, you're a scrapper and you're a stormtrooper. Yeah, I can do this all day."
Yeah, all right. It was.
That was a good scene.
It was
I
a
like
bit.
that.
That was a
No,
good bit.
like I said, they have good banter. They have great actors. But let's proceed on. So yeah, these guys have to get launched. So the first person that says they fly now is actually Chewie. He says it in Wookiee. Chewie's the first person to say it.
Okay.
He says it in Wookiee. It's okay that Chewie says this because Chewie maybe doesn't know that this is possible. Okay, maybe Chewie's been busy over all these years.
The man's seen a lot of things.
Yeah, he's 250 years old, so maybe he can be surprised by this, if not older, actually, at this point.
They said his age in the movie.
Then Poe says...
No, it's C-3PO.
It's C-3PO, right. C-3PO says they fly now, which is fine because C-3PO is the most panicky robot in all of existence. So even if he did know it was happening, he would have to state the obvious. Acceptable.
That's his character.
Then it's
Right.
Finn.
Then it's Finn, who should know...
First of all, sorry, but why was C-3PO all emotional in this movie before the memory wipe?
Because him and R2-D2 are sentient.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's so over the top this time.
I mean,
Yeah,
but
but
he's always been that way.
over the top.
It's a bit more this time. I
He's
feel
been
like.
Well, obviously they milked it because he was gonna die, so they have to turn it up to 10.
Well, he actually cared about his friends and all this and
He
that.
always
But he
has. I mean,
has.
he always has.
He's literally been following Padme with the same attitude.
Still, it's still.
He didn't even want to get mind wiped.
Yeah,
I know,
they
right?
were
Like,
jerks.
I came up with another idea. Anyway.
I was wow.
He could have just took him there. Was probably what he was gonna say.
Yeah, I know, right? But regardless, it's fine. But we proceed on. So C-3PO, who's panicky as all hell, does it, and then Finn does it. You have no excuse. You should know. You should know. You should know. Because if you,
Let's.
And then
but then we get to Poe, and Poe is like, oh yeah, they fly now, which is him accepting it, which is fine.
Yeah, he
But-
deadpans it.
But
He
we're,
deadpans
we're,
it.
we're gonna get to this for just a quick, strong moment here. Let me tell you something about Poe Dameron's parents.
We're gonna be 3 parts.
No, but
I told you that at the beginning of this.
Poe Dameron's parents are resistance fighters.
Yeah, that's known.
That's known. Remember what Poe Dameron
Well known to people that
pay any attention to anything else outside of just the movies themselves.
Yeah.
But regardless, his parents are resistance fighters. He was born into this fight. What was his job?
Spice smuggling.
When we get to that reveal,
spice smuggling.
that's what he was doing. When your parents fought and died for the resistance, what did you decide to do?
Hux's parents were part of the Empire.
You dirty
Yeah,
spice
that's
boy.
fine. Yeah, but regardless,
You were a spice smuggler? You were a stormtrooper. You were a spice smuggler? You were a scavenger. We could do this all day.
Yeah, like y'all are here to judge me.
I'm just saying that I judge him because I know what his parents did for a living. I know the type of heroes his parents were. There's a reason why you have such a high position to begin
And why
with.
they're disappointed in you.
When you were pressured to do the thing that your parents have done over and over and over, you look for an escape.
Yeah.
Spicy boy.
But
Poe.
I'm saying, well, you say that, but regardless,
He did it.
yes, and he has this position. What I'm saying is he's gotten as high as he is
Oh my god.
that he was literally Leia's
Well, which is funny because we
we
know
go back
that
to
he,
previous movies.
we know that he was a spice from this. We know he was a spice smuggler at some point, but he also started the first of these movies as a resistance fighter.
That's my point. Immediately under Leia's direct command. When did you have time? I literally read your comics, Poe. When did you have time to be a spice smuggler? Was it for a year? Did you just have did you go down to basically Mardi Gras planet and just like?
No, hold on.
This is what
when
Stacey sent
when
me.
you say his parents were resistance fighters, are you talking about the resistance against the Empire or the
No,
resistance
under Leia.
under Leia?
Under Leia.
Under Leia against the First Order.
Against the First Order.
Okay. Okay. No, that's fine.
Man, it looks like a whole.
My
ass
point was
fucking
is maybe-
haircut, dude.
Maybe if they were resistance fighters against the old Empire, in that downtime he could have been a spice smuggler and then was called to action afterwards.
You
Yeah,
know
no,
what it
that's
reminds me
reasonable,
of?
but that's not what they do.
Okay, that's fine. That's why I was bringing it up.
Alright, yeah. Okay. So the two absolutely ridiculous jump troopers, rocket troopers, can't hit anything. They are Stormtrooper 101. They can't shoot to save their lives. One of them just gets immediately taken out. Well, another one comes in and actually gets in.
No, it's one of those two.
It's one of those two?
Yeah, there's only two of them. Remember, one
One of them dies horribly.
They make an escape. They make the escape from the. They take out the two speeders and one of the stormtroopers. And Poe immediately asks, "Did you take out the other one?" And as soon as that happens, the other one comes flying in and takes out both of their speeders.
Yeah, with
and
this
then somebody shoots him and gets him blown up.
Yeah, no, really.
There were only two.
Okay. Okay. I just want to make sure because I'm like they lose him when they go into the cliffs.
Somehow he gets ahead of them.
That's my point. They lose him when he goes into the cliffs. I thought he was also one of the ones that just got taken out when they were flying at Mach 10 through the. Okay.
It's the
Anyway,
same- it's one of the two.
so this guy comes back and decides to be competent and two shots them. Literally 1-1. Knocks them off their speeders.
Into a very specific thing.
Into the most convenient thing.
Yes.
The most convenient thing, the sand pit that directly leads them to where they need to go to complete their quest. So they get dragged into what is equivalent to like alien quicksand.
But wait, Dane, it doesn't activate immediately.
Yeah.
It lets them take down the trooper first.
That has aerial advantage and is firing on prone targets, but he just gets
A
murked.
few moments later.
And so yeah, and then later it decides to sink them down with no harm. No one just screws up, breathes in sand, and dies. They just all drop down into the tunnels.
Oh, hold on.
Perfectly-
You have to. There's one very important point while they're doing this.
Oh,
Finn says, "Ray, I need to tell you something before we die."
Oh, by the way, during an interview, JJ said he was trying to tell her I'm force sensitive.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, that's what
I don't
JJ
believe
said
that.
during an interview. That's what he said.
I don't believe that for
All
a
right,
second.
So he couldn't say that in front of Poe.
Yeah.
That's the thing he had to hide.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
No, shut up. JJ lies.
That has to be a lie. No, I'm with Dane on this one. That has to be a lie.
No, let me tell you the reason why I know JJ lies. Khan won't be in. Remember when he said Khan wouldn't be in the second Star Trek movie? He said it. He said Khan wouldn't be in the second Star Trek movie.
And what did they do?
we get? Khan! I'm telling you, JJ lies.
He also said the third one was going to be
I'm
good.
not saying you're reading the wrong thing, Tim.
I know.
I'm saying I don't
that he's
believe what
lying.
that says.
You believe he's lying.
He's
I
trying to tell
completely
Ray that
believe
he
he's
loved her.
lying. There's no reason that Finn couldn't have said, "I'm force sensitive" in front of Poe.
No, he was
We all
about
know
to
what he
confess.
actually.
He
That
was
makes
about
me
to
so
confess.
upset that he spent that whole movie going,
Right. Oh, he got demoted back to Last Jedi. That's what he was in Last Jedi, the Ray detector.
Damn.
It's not wrong though.
He is literally a guy who spends the entire movie hunting a white girl across two.
Nope.
It's horrible, dude. That's all he does. Name me one thing he accomplished.
He got force pushed.
There you go. Anyway, so yeah, they drop down into the most convenient tunnel in all of existence because this is conveniently exactly where they need to go because this is where that Jedi Hunter also sunk into. And here they find a speeder which has a Sith emblem literally on the hood.
Hold on. You have to tell them your least favorite part now because Ray lights up her lightsaber to light up the tunnel.
Yeah, we're in this
And then-
completely dark, decrepit tunnel no one can see. And Ray's like, "Don't worry about it, guys. I got this room." And then Poe's like, "I have a flashlight. Kind of looks like yours." He doesn't say that, but that is what that scene
I
implies.
Yes.
like the, like I know it's small, but I like the flip with the with the flashlight.
Yeah, like it's something actually important. But
But
no.
anyways, we find the Sith speeder and
Yeah. We found the Sith speeder, which, by the way, I mean,
Well-
you have to be something kind of stupid to just have like a Sith decal on the front of your car. It's almost like if you could like put MS-13 in bold print on the hood of your car. That's the equivalent of what that is.
As well as
Mercedes of the Empire. How dare you?
how dare you?
Oh yeah,
Tim.
the thing that we never got. Yeah, we're gonna get there too. There's so much to get to because this movie is the most dumpster fire. It is horrible.
Did anybody notice whether or not when they introduced new planets, if there was a title at the bottom?
No.
There was nothing.
No,
There was no subtitles
like,
for alien
they-
language. There was no subtitles for time. No subtitles for planets.
Yeah,
no
one
Yeah.
week later, one day later, there's no way of telling time. There's no way of telling where you are. When he lands on Exegol, we don't know what Exegol's name is until the Resistance tells us what Exegol's name is.
See, I thought I wasn't sure if it was just one of those things that I missed because
Nope.
like
Nope.
you know how important it would have been if they would have at the start of the movie if they would have said Mustafar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
that-
It would have made much more sense.
Oh wait, but you're saying that Michael Bay can do this, but J.J. Abrams can't? I can know that we're in Hong Kong at the beginning of the movie. No, okay, sorry, it's just not something that's possible.
It's
We don't
just
have the budget
something
for it.
that's been in Star Wars films this entire time. Why did you leave it out now?
Disney magic.
Yeah, I know, right?
It was in the last two fucking movies.
Hoth. But anyway, no, it's okay. We're good.
No, I don't think they told us that it was Hoth. Or well, they didn't tell us like when they showed the planet. It was the fact that we immediately found out from the Resistance that
That they were on Hoth.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
But we didn't get it.
But we did get
No.
it for Crate. We did get it for Crate.
yeah, we did get it for Crate when we went to Crate in the second
Because we
movie,
thought
in
it
the second
was
movies.
Hoth. But it was actually just,
Crate.
Crate.
Yeah.
But,
Anyways,
Continue.
so yeah, so,
we find the guy's corpse.
and the Sith Dagger.
Yep.
So much
Which-
movie left.
Yeah, I know, right? Where are we in the first 20 minutes?
No, we're at least in 40 minutes now.
Okay.
Tim's eyes look like Ben Affleck's in that interview.
He's lost all life.
He's like, this is gonna be a fun, like, we're gonna have fun talking about Star Wars. Now he just wants to die.
Y'all are depressing me more.
Because now you get to relive it in slow motion. That is what we're doing here. We're reliving this nightmare in slow motion.
Dane is getting payback on me.
Yeah.
Now you see why I look like the way I looked at Wind Guru, because it was sinking in then.
Man, like the guys were pretty quiet when we went to go eat somewhere.
This is why I said, do you want to start with Dane or do you want to finish with Dane?
Exactly.
Because I am the hype. But
It's
anyway.
a long ride, Tim, and you can't get off.
This is like this is like waiting for a ride at for Star Wars at Disney, and it's, and at the
3
end it's very
hours later.
and it's very disappointing. At the
This
end.
is your Dane's edge right now.
Abrams. Hop in.
No, at this point, it's against your will. Get in the van.
I don't like this ride.
But yeah, so
I got
anyway,
a bad feeling about
they
this.
find the dead alien who, Poe has to mention, I don't like bones because, I don't know. He's been in a war zone for the last, 3 years of his life. But, dead body. Can't take that. But, yeah, so they find everything that they need as far as, locating the locator for the MacGuffin,
And
not the
they're
MacGuffin itself.
And they're about to try to find a way out when a giant sandworm thing.
They call it a serpent.
Which is fine. It's just a giant worm that's been living in
that
this underground.
C-3PO's been trying to warn them about.
Yeah, but here's the most important part. This would be the reason why you don't turn on your lightsaber. Anyone should have thought that maybe when you lit up the giant flame beam, that maybe the giant sand snake responded.
The
And
smartest.
then they stole a scene from Jedi Fallen Order and used it in this movie. Have you played Jedi Fallen Order?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
You know when he's on that the Wookiee planet and he heals the gigantic bird.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
First off, my only problem with that is, how does she know how to do that?
She doesn't.
It's
she
a
doesn't.
Jedi
It's a
thing.
feeling.
No.
You have to be trained.
I
have to
agree
be
with you that
trained.
it's a Jedi thing.
But no one trained her.
When I played Star Wars Saga 2 or 3 years ago with Dane, I played a Jedi that literally healed because I was the white mage for that
Yeah.
group. And you have to learn it. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
something you
it's
can
something
just
that you're
do.
trained.
Hey
Yeah, I
guys.
know.
Hey, did Baby Yoda? Did he train? Did he?
He's a Yoda.
He's a Yoda.
I don't give a fuck.
No,
Okay.
literally, it's just in the rule of certain species that you come with
Certain things.
innate sensitivity to force powers.
Yeah.
I'm just.
By the
it
way,
is
the
what it
race that
is.
I was playing had no eyes. Everything we saw was through the Force.
Oh, good
Literally,
Lord.
there's nothing here.
White Mage Daredevil.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Star Wars is amazing.
People try out the Star Wars D&D game. It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
Yes,
But
but
anyways.
I love GMing it.
Wasn't I a droid when I played on yours?
Yes,
Because you
yes,
made
you
us all
joined-
droids.
Yeah, you joined the droid campaign.
Yes.
Everybody
Actual-
had to be a droid.
Yeah, he forced us all to be droids.
It's the Droid Revolution arc with the IG 88, 87 series. This
where
is
every droid gains sentience. But anyways, we're getting off topic.
Yeah, this is fun Star Wars. We're going back to bad Star Wars. Anyway, so yeah, this is the reason why you don't
You're
light up.
the meme.
Yeah, this is the reason why you don't light up your lightsaber randomly in any location, because realistically, that snake should have like freaked the hell out and attacked them. But
Yeah,
no,
the
Yes.
smartest person in that tunnel was Poe when he's like, "I'm a blast it."
right, because it's too late. It's like we're in aggro range. Let's just shoot it. You know, what can we do?
We're about to let our strongest fighter die.
By the way, that serpent wasn't any thicker than any of the trees she was cutting in half.
Yeah, right. But it had speed. It would have got her, I believe. She was a noob at this point.
She already had the lightsaber out,
I know, right? But
and then
she's-
cut it off to go stand and hug the snake.
Yeah,
like
no. No, she,
So
ha-
she-
no. To continue on with Finn having force powers, she
she
hands
gave
it to Finn.
Finn, the lightsaber.
She hands her lightsaber to Finn, which, by the way, Jedi 101, that is a bad idea.
You never do that.
Never hand the lightsaber to someone who
They say
doesn't
it
know how to
so
use it.
many times in the first 3 movies. Your lightsaber is your life. Don't lose it.
Yeah.
Don't give it away. Don't you? Like,
Well,
Don't-
because you're supposed to be
remember, 'cause
like
I was
a
saying
knight.
earlier about Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, and Qui-Gon's like, "I can't believe you went into the water with.
Yeah.
You should know to take care of your stuff way better than
No.
this."
Yeah, right? No.
Well, I mean, because they are a knight. The lightsaber, like a sword, is an
their life.
extension of oneself.
it's their life.
Yeah.
But anyway, she conveniently heals.
She's
the
not a
snake.
knight.
She conveniently heals the snake,
snake.
and it conveniently moves out of the way to the exit.
Which allows them to climb back out and right in direction of the ship that they came to find.
So let's get to the part to where I went to the restroom because I don't really know
All
what
right,
happened.
So-
we're about to get there. They get onto dude's ship, and it's an old trash heap, and so they have to start repairing it.
Dane
But
told me I didn't miss
Ray
much.
feels with the Force that something's wrong.
guess who just arrived?
Kylo Ren.
By the way,
Dude.
he was on Exegol. He has now arrived on Rave Planet. We don't know what's the distance between the two, how long it took to get
What the
there,
name of the planet is.
but we know for a fact that they have been on this planet for less than 20 minutes.
Yep. Now, to
Also-
me,
he took a number from Poe. Everybody learned this new skill thanks to Poe.
Yeah, right. Hyperdriving to anywhere instantly. Yeah, I understand.
now to make it even worse. So first off, we do get that scene from the trailer where, by the way, it's Kylo Ren in that TIE fighter that's
Yeah,
driving.
you
right
should have
at her.
known that.
Well, sure, but it would have been cooler if it was something different.
So much for loving her.
One person said, and I think this would have been way cooler. The reason that TIE fighter is, flying directly at her, isn't shooting or anything like that. It would have been cooler if the Emperor was literally controlling the TIE fighter and just literally flying it at her.
Back when the theory was
Yeah.
that he was trying to kill her, but yeah,
But anyways, so she goes out to confront that TIE fighter while everybody else is trying to get the ship running. Finn tells Chewbacca, go out and get Rey,
right.
like an idiot.
Well, yeah, you send. Well, technically, he's a Wookiee, so he's a one-man army.
Sure, he's a woman army.
But they send him out by himself
And
with
the
no
Knight-
support.
And the Knights of Ren capture him.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody
Knights
thinks
of
he's
Konoha.
dead though.
Yeah. So Ray force flips and wrecks Kylo's personal ship. Just completely cannonballs it. But he's invulnerable. He's okay. He takes no damage at all.
The helmet protected him.
I know, right?
That's when he takes it off. He never puts it on again after that.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
wait, no, doesn't he?
No,
He
he
does.
walks out of the wreckage without it, and that's it.
Oh, he
Oh,
puts it-
no. He
he
does
puts it
have it
back
on.
on.
He has it on the ice planet.
Yeah.
When they're raiding the ice planet, he has it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But he puts it back on once. Then he's off for the rest of the movie.
But,
The ice planet with the Poe's ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has it on.
But anyways,
The third ice planet in the movie.
so the Knights of Ren capture Chewbacca, and specifically, by the way, they show us 2 transports. They show us the 2 transports. Rey only sees the one. Finn yells at her, saying, "Chewbacca's on that transport. We need to go get him."
Incorrect, of course, but he was
Yeah.
on the ship repairing things.
Right. So he only saw a small one thing. Rey immediately force grabs the ship and tries to drag it down, and it's working for the most part.
She force grabs a active flying ship.
Yes.
Yeah, see,
With
that right
booster.
there is crazy.
But she couldn't finish the training course.
Oh yeah, no, that's not
But-
possible.
Oh, and then all of a sudden, apparently, she learned a trick from
Well,
her
no,
grandpappy.
This is no less as astounding, and this is power creep. We haven't got to true power creep, but this is no less astounding than Kylo stopping that blaster bolt. It's just about as difficult a feat in the Force to do.
Now,
Stop an active transport with like all these personnel on it and thrusters trying to get back in the atmosphere is no different than the giant blaster bolt that Kylo stopped.
Not only did he stop that blaster bolt, man had a full-on conversation
while
with
holding it.
Yeah, I need you to hold on, bro. Let me explain the ways of the Sith.
Now,
all right, proceed.
after
Let me get out the way first.
after she's trying to pull it down, Kylo's been menacingly walking
He's
towards
Neo.
Rey.
Yeah.
And decides to do the opposite, and he's going to pull the ship to him. So they literally start a forced tug of war over this ship.
Could you imagine
Which
being
is
the dude
still
on that ship?
Yeah, wait. Which is still flying its thrusters, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still trying to get away.
So-
So there's 3 units of force here, all acting at
That
once.
ship shouldn't have.
Yeah, first off, that ship should have already been ripped apart.
Yeah.
But we're getting to that. Then, in a fit of rage on Rey's part, because she's trying to get the ship to come back,
Yeah, her rage is more important than saving her
she
friend.
lightnings.
Anger issues.
She uses force lightning on the ship by accident and
Yeah.
destroys it, assumedly killing Chewbacca.
And
So-
hating herself.
Yeah, but more importantly, though, unintentionally, force lightning. I never knew that a force pull could become force lightning. Follow me here. Force pull is outstretched hand, pull back, right?
And then we
force
find-
lightning
Now-
is
Granted, given the revelation
just
that we,
saying.
granted, given the revelation that we are known later, it's not surprising that she can use force lightning.
That's fine, but it's not like it's genetic.
I know
Shiv
it's not genetic.
Palpatine's a freaking human.
Yes, I realize. But given again, it's probably just the fact that he is so in tune with the dark side. It's not surprising that she could do it offhand.
He probably manipulated
By the
her
way-
birth just as he did Anakin's.
Which is probably true, but regardless, actually, force lightning isn't Palpatine's thing, by the way. Like that's actually not that he's not the Dark Lord of the Sith known for force lightning. That is not the correct
Was his
one.
thing like him taking people's lives?
No, battle meditation is his. The ability to influence people around him.
Well,
Well,
yes,
that makes
I
sense.
agree with that.
Well,
I'm just
that's
saying,
that's how he was able to get past all the Jedi's
in-
all the time
in
without
term-
them detecting
in terms
it.
Of, in terms of combat, though, we mostly see him do force lightning.
I mean, he
Force-
fights with a lightsaber.
Very.
You
Very-
get that one scene.
Yeah,
No, two
with Yoda.
scenes. Two scenes.
Well, how many times does he get to fight? 3.
Man, in episode
He was-
episode 3 when he's with that fight with Yoda, man, that guy is so fast.
Yeah, I know, for an old man.
Yeah.
Like,
Like Jesus.
Dude, I love Palpatine. Anyway, proceeding on
Anyways,
though. You have
Now we finally get to the cool planet.
yeah.
Well, hold
Chewie's dead.
Chewie is presumably dead.
No.
Ray and them leave. BB-8. Ray and them leave on this Jedi Hunter ship. They find a little droid
Called Dio.
called Dio. We don't find that out till later.
He's basically a cup on a wheel.
It
Yes.
was Dio the whole time.
That's what I
Dio
thought too.
ruined the movie.
Everything.
No. The best thing about this droid is that it has a vocabulary, so it can speak.
Yep.
And so I'm just like, I'm waiting for it to go, do well. Do. Anyway, proceed.
But anyways, so they leave, and they immediately their next thing is see. They lost the dagger, by the way. Chewbacca had the dagger,
Yeah.
that had the Sith inscription on
Left
it,
the ship with it.
and C-3PO can read it. By the way, that was one thing that happened in the tunnels. Was C-3PO can read it, but he refuses to say it because it's against his programming.
Yes, he is hard locked by Republic code that disallows him to translate Sith language.
So their next plan is to go to one of Poe's old contacts that is a robot black markets dealer, something like that.
Yeah, a tinker or
a
something.
droid black market dealer, and who can possibly get the information out of C-3PO. So they go to an old planet that Poe doesn't want to go to.
Because 1, it's a crap hole. 2, it's strictly under Imperial lockdown.
And he used to work with one of the gangs there and had a love interest.
And like Han, he got beef and debt.
Yep.
So,
Because they try to turn him in. Finally, in the third movie, try to
Into
turn him
Han.
into Han.
but yeah.
We get introduced to they get on the planet. It's of course under Imperial lockdown. And by the way, at this point, we have also found out that Chewbacca is indeed alive. He's just on the Sith ship.
Yeah.
And Kylo Ren said to interrogate him.
Not Kylo. It was,
was it?
the
The general, the admiral.
Oh,
Grant. I
yes.
forget what the actor's name is.
Pride.
Grant something.
Yeah, but his
Pride.
actual name is
Yeah.
Pride.
Yes, Pride. So they get to the planet. It's under Imperial lockdown. Literally, they're just avoiding stormtroopers as best they can, and they run into Poe Dameron's old flame, who immediately
Played by Kerry Russell,
Who
famous
hates his
actress.
guts.
and who immediately literally threatens to shoot his head off. And there we do find out what Poe used to do, which was being a spy smuggler.
Exposition could have been a flashback, but exposition.
Spicy boy.
And I've already been over the bit that they do with that, so I won't bring it back up again. But they do convince her to Rey, by the way, convinces her to bring them to the
Yeah, can we talk about? Oh, sorry, this is really
No,
important.
Go ahead.
Okay, so they of course say, "Screw you, we're actual criminals. We're just gonna kill you." Ray beats all of their behind, and
like
then-
they're nothing.
Yeah, and then because obviously she either
Mary
has to,
Sue.
yeah, right. She has to go between being unstoppable or I can't win a fight. But she beats all their butts, and then she's just like, "Would you please help me?" And she's just like,
Sure.
I like
I was
you.
okay with you, really.
Yeah, I like you." I'm just like,
Okay.
all
whatever.
females
Heel-
are friends.
Heel turn.
All
Heel turn.
females are friends. All females are friends. All females are friends. Have you ever seen two females angry with each other in a Star Wars movie? No, it doesn't happen.
Nope.
All females are friends.
So they take him to the droid black markets guy, who is this tiny little thing, by the way. It's
Adorable.
yeah, I actually
Boba
like the little
Freak.
thing. Look, it reminds me of Gray Matter from Ben 10, if anybody remembers that.
It really does, actually. Probably
has
really close to a rip.
Yeah,
I actually liked his character and Kerry Russell's character, regardless of the lines they gave
circumstances,
her. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what would be really cool? If they had a 15-minute flashback and then a 15-minute arc
uh-huh.
rather than 5 minutes of existence, which is what they are in this movie.
Yeah, which is a total shame because Kerry Russell really, really loved that role. She would walk around on set with her helmet on at all times.
And she looked good in it.
Yeah.
And she acted very well.
Yeah.
And it was a really good character.
It just was basically swept on the rug immediately.
Along with her buddy.
So they do find out that the droid dealer that they went to can get the information out of C-3PO. The problem is it'll wipe his memory as soon as he reads it because it's under protocol for that to happen.
Yep, hard data wipe.
So they actually have a very touching moment of C-3PO literally getting up, turning around, and looking at all his friends. They're all like, "What are you doing, C-3PO?" I was like, "I'm getting one last look at my friends before I don't remember any of you again." And
then
it's
they
actually
ruin it.
We're getting to that. It's a really touching scene at the time, and so then they allow him to do it, and his eyes
No,
turn red. But
He allows them to do
Yes,
it. Get it like
yes, yes.
He doesn't. He's like,
Man,
I
that's
just thought of
really-
something else.
Before they deactivate him. That is the thing that happens. He's just like, I have another idea.
But his eyes turn red when they do it, and he reads the inscription in a completely different voice, by the way.
Because it's Sith.
Yeah. And as soon as he finishes reading it, he immediately shuts off. They repower him up, and he's
Because the dark
he's-
side
he's a
can
fresh-
affect droids too.
Yeah, he's a fresh robot. He's a fresh C-3PO, and literally just starts introducing himself again.
There's evil droids, isn't
And
there?
it's honestly a really touching moment until later.
The light side and the dark side do nothing to droids besides crush them or electrocute them.
Yeah.
Like, you can use your force powers on a droid.
Then why does his voice change and his eyes turn
Because
red and all that?
Because
It's
J.J.
illegal.
Abrams wanted it to be.
Yeah,
I mean, that's all that it is.
it's also a reference to another droid. If you guys have read the comics,
Dr. Afra.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
Which-
I didn't get that one, but
Which,
anyways.
if you made it to this point of the video, there is a rumor that there's being a Disney Plus show being made for that.
Dude, if it happens, I want to be so excited.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch
She's
it.
the best thing. She's one of the best things to roll
come
out
out
of
of
the
the
Darth
comics.
Vaders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they find out C-3PO immediately introduces himself, and as Matt was saying, later on in the movie, it immediately gets thrown under the rug because R2 fixes his memory, which it's terrible.
If you're gonna put a character through a moment of sacrifice,
keep the sacrifice.
keep the sacrifice.
What's
wait, you
funny,
mean
and
like Rey?
they even asked
You mean like Finn?
C-3PO, can R2 restore your memory? It's like, no, that little rust bucket couldn't do it.
And then he does
well,
it.
Yeah,
They make a reference that R2's memory has always been faulty.
Yeah.
Which is true.
Well, yeah,
But that's
which
also
is
because
why
that
when
droid
he
has never
does
been
get his
wiped.
memory back, I didn't hear whose mission it
Rey's.
was.
Rey's first
No.
Yeah, so it was
Yeah.
Rey's first mission.
It's everything that would have happened once he left R2.
Yeah,
That's literally it. By the
that was her
way,
first mission.
Well, yes, that's her first mission under Leia.
yeah.
That's the whole point. She's like, I'm leaving without your permission or not. Yeah, I know, right? Take a moment here. Ugh, God, this movie's so fucking bad. Anyway,
But to continue on, after that, they have found out where they are. The Imperials have a Star Destroyer above the city and are starting a raid to find them. Well, as soon as Rey steps out of the junk dealer place, she immediately feels Chewbacca's alive, and he's on that Star Destroyer. So what do? They go to that Star Destroyer. By the way, I did skip over something important. The flame of Poe's has a disc that
is
basically
a First Order Commander disc.
yes. So it gives them basically free access to anything involving the First Order. Gets them past checkpoints, get them past all that.
Another MacGuffin.
And
Yeah.
she gives it to them.
MacGuffin 4.
She gives it to them with no thing. And Poe
The
even says,
thing that she like has held on.
yeah. It's
Well,
important.
Struggled her
Par-
entire time.
Apparently, it didn't matter
she
too much.
literally told Poe, "I've been working for years to get to the outer colonies," and I'm just like,
And you would just hand this over.
to Poe.
Well, apparently she can. Never mind.
yeah,
we'll,
no,
we'll save that for later.
Yeah, right.
But-
There's another inconsistency here because
Post
later
sexy
in the
eyes.
movie,
Hardened criminal.
Finn can sense Rey with the Force, but for some reason he couldn't sense Chewie with the Force there in that scene.
Well,
Well, that's
He's
because
not
Because
in
of
love
the
with
Force
Chewie.
connection.
no, he only exists to hunt down the white girl.
right.
Like it's inconsistent,
It is. No, there's a ton of inconsistencies.
The man wants what he wants.
and he never got it.
No, he never did. He's
No. Friend
he-
zoned the entire
yeah, friend zone the
time.
day he met her.
Yeah.
I can argue that Kylo got it twice as Kylo and then as Ben.
Yeah, right. you know?
right.
At least Kylo got his kiss.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Hey, and potential Force babies. I mean, miracles happen all the time.
Yeah.
Proceed on.
But anyways, so they raid this Star Destroyer. By the way, as a 3-man team, 3-man plus BB-8. Yeah, and
Not
C-3PO
happening.
and C-3PO.
yeah, the rebooted C-3PO.
Oh
Not,
no! I'm sorry. C-3PO, BB-8, and Dio all stay on ship. Never mind.
Well, because they all land in there, and they tell those three to stay
And
on.
yeah,
the,
C-3PO's like, I'm happy to stay on the ship.
Then there's another inconsistency because they get on the ship and Poe says which way and Finn says this way and he says just trust me, I got a feeling.
Actually, he's like, I don't know, but follow me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
they try to point out his Force sensitivity throughout the movie.
So after they get Chewbacca, Rey
So
splits off
inconsistent.
because she has a Force feeling, and she goes to another room. By the way, at this point, all 3 of Chewbacca, Finn, and Poe have been captured again.
Every plan that they have,
Fails.
Ray has butt fucked.
Yeah, no,
Like
Yeah.
she gets a 1,000-yard
Oh,
stare, and then everything goes to shit.
But they
Yeah,
always
alright.
bet on Rey.
Right.
That's the
well,
problem.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but because she's a Mary Sue,
Sue, yeah.
and Mary Sue's can't do anything wrong. But let's go back here for a second here. This was actually the only point in any of these movies though that made me feel like Rey would be a good leader. Because when they hit that first security rope, she's just like, "Get those cameras," and I'm like, "Wow, you sound
You
like
actually knew.
yeah, right. You sound like an authoritative leader there."
There was one point that was actually kind of funny to me. So they run into 2 stormtroopers, and Rey does the Jedi mind trick of
She knows every Jedi trick, apparently.
Yes.
Apparently,
Yeah.
she's been taught every
You're,
single one from someone.
I mean, she's
You-
been reading a lot. She hasn't really left that planet.
you're not
She's
surprised to
looked
see
a
us.
bit.
And then they're like, they casually say something.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, you're happy to see us, blah, blah, and then you tell us where the prisoners are, and they do. And Poe, it's either Poe or Finn, says something like, she hasn't done this to us, has she? And that was just a little funny tidbit to me.
Yeah, that she may have Jedi mind tricked her allies.
But
She could have.
Rey manages to find her way to Kylo Ren's personal chamber.
Which
And-
definitely gives off the old Darth Vader vibe room.
And then we have another scene of them interacting from two completely
Sexual
places.
tension.
Force Skype.
Now, I will say this, in my opinion, the shooting on this scene was actually brilliant in the fact that it rapidly changed
between
how-
the two locations.
Yes, and it did it in the same scene too. It wasn't just like where it would
also conveniently they can't see each other's location.
yeah.
Can we also appreciate there was no lens flare in this movie?
There was,
When?
there was.
I
yeah,
missed it.
yeah. No, there was a couple of lens flares, but
No,
they were
it's just
never.
JJ.
But they were never doing any important action scene, which is the exact opposite of Star Trek. So I don't understand why he added them in, but they're mostly during character scenes.
Well, he disliked lens flares.
Yeah, I don't understand why.
but
what it is.
a couple of
It's
inconsistencies.
just
though,
like the
and
guy who
reason
does Titans.
So they start having a lightsaber duel. By the way, completely away from each other.
Baby duel. Baby duel.
Yeah.
I say duel loosely. It's literally them swinging their lightsabers at each other and clashing. Somehow,
Could you
and
imagine
they're
if a
not-
random pedestrian was like,
Like, what is he
he's-
fighting?
Right.
At one
And then
point,
she-
he
hold
like
on,
cuts
and
open
she's
a crate
yelling
of
this
berries
entire
or
time.
something.
In
And
his quarters.
There has to be a
on his
stormtrooper
ship.
that has to have heard all of this.
Right, but no, more importantly than that, though, the Knights of Ren are just watching their leader swing his lightsaber into blind air.
Right.
Just like,
They've
first
been
off,
watching everything.
I know, right? They're literally in the background just
By
looking.
the way, another thing: the Knights of Ren are on this planet. They're on this planet before anybody else, and they
Don't do
show
shit.
up once, as a menacing force, and
right,
then
because you see them walking the streets.
they're just standing there.
It's like Aku from
menacingly.
Samurai Jack. Man.
Yeah, right. No, it's just like, guys, you
They're
coulda-
just there for looks. Like we find out
Yeah. But
Yeah.
anyways, so they had this duel, and so
they're
this,
just regular stormtroopers in cool outfits.
this was an inconsistency to me, at least in the shooting. So they're having this lightsaber duel, and a lot of their stuff is going back and forth between where they are. At one point, they cut a basket full of like berries or whatever, and it spills out, and it shows spilling out where Kylo is,
and spilling out
where
where she is.
in his room, and then you never see them again. By the way,
Yeah,
like at all. I looked for that. By the way,
to see if the berries are still on the ground.
yes, because honestly, I would have been amazed if they were.
Well, yeah, but the same thing happens with the rubble for Vader's statue. It eventually spills on her side, but what lands is just Vader's mask on his side.
See, I didn't see it land on his side. That was my confusion.
Yeah.
Vader's mask lands on his side, but the rubble from the podium that it was
stays
standing on
stays on her
it
side. Yeah.
only stays on her side. Only Vader's mask falls into his side.
But anyways, they had this whole again like very sexually charged exchange, as Devontae has kept saying, because Jesus Christ, these two should just.
It was like Vin
fuck
Diesel
already.
and Michelle Rodriguez at the Video Game
Oh
Awards.
my god.
Good God,
It's
man.
like, can you get the hint? Anyway.
Like, bro, like we get it. We know you're Vin Diesel. Come on, man.
But
Chill out, Triple X.
as soon as they destroy the pedestal that Darth Vader's helmet is on, Kylo Ren figures out where she is, and he immediately is like, lock down the ship. They're on the ship. She's in my quarters. And then she books it.
Prepare to fail.
You know, I almost expected him to have like a really like get out of my room like moment, but
Like
you
the
know,
emo kid that he is.
yeah,
I was waiting for like there to be a poster of his grandpa.
Green Days in
She
the
was
background.
right where he wanted her to be.
Wake me up when September ends is playing.
Don't leave. I'll be there in 10 minutes.
But
Gets the silk robe.
they go to the Millennium Falcon. Everybody else after they escape, everybody else goes to the Millennium Falcon, where that has also been captured on the ship
and
by the way.
impounded, and it's just left there.
Yes. And they get it out. By the way, okay, so this is where we find out
Who
Chewbacca, Poe, and Finn are about to be executed. Literally, what's it called? Firing
Pride.
squad.
Yeah.
Firing squad.
Yeah. Pride has sent them to a firing squad.
And Hux is with them. And Hux asks for a blaster because he wants to do it himself. And then he shoots all the stormtroopers.
Oh, I
and
know.
is
As soon as they went,
I'm the spy.
I knew as soon as they went into that room, I was like, oh, okay,
Oh, no,
so Hux
yeah.
is the spy. That makes
And
sense.
then I love the fact that Poe is like, I called it. And Finn's like, no, you didn't.
Okay, so the thing is about that scene and the follow up that happens with it is one of my favorite things that I've seen so far in cinema, not even just this movie, is usually they're like, okay, shoot me to make it look real. And Pride was like, yeah, you're the mole.
Well, in multiple levels here, right? First off, he's just like, I need you to shoot me in the arm to make it look real, like you actually broke out and escaped. Okay, so he shoots Hux in the leg
Instead,
and says,
Why are you even helping us?
Right, and Hux is a reason.
Petty as shit.
It's the pettiest. The world is ending, literally. And you can either be on the side that rules it after it ends or the side that dies trying to
he
rule
doesn't care though.
And
He
he's
doesn't
just
care who
like,
wins. He just wants Kylo Ren to lose.
I'm a teenager, and we are angst, and I hate that whiny Sasuke. like that's literally it. It's just like, I hate Sasuke. And it's,
Hux needs a hug.
it's like, I'm here to undermine him. Yes.
So
It's like one of Orochimaru's people.
they get to the Falcon and they get out. Meanwhile, Rey has been trapped. Rey gets trapped in the other hangar with. By the way, this is one thing that didn't make sense. How did they get the droids on board the Falcon?
When they were originally on the other ship, don't ask.
But anyways. Anyway.
It's on the other side of the
Yes,
fucking thing.
exactly.
Through
Anyways, that is an inconsistency that I.
metric.
Zaweldo.
Oh no, that's right. Dio is like, pause. Let's go, guys. Hurry
So-
up. I can hold this for what, 9 seconds?
So, he offers his hand to her again. It literally has her on the edge of the Star Destroyer, where she could, fall out and die. He offers his hand to her again, and she says no again. And she jumps on the Millennium Falcon, which is now hanging outside. And by the way, they actually do a really cool thruster burn that knocks everybody but the 2 Jedi's back. Or Jedi and Sith.
She didn't even brace herself. I was
Yeah.
watching.
Yeah.
Well, I know. I'm not saying. I'm not
Kylo
saying it makes
definitely
sense.
did.
I'm not
Kylo
saying it
had
makes
to-
sense.
Kylo had to strike that low pose. He was just like, I'm gonna hold on right here.
But
Calvin Klein commercial.
she jumps and Finn catches her, and they get on board and they escape. happy ending.
Okay,
on that
so I think this is actually a good point to take a quick break. We're gonna continue talking about this, but we're gonna take a quick break so that way we can split this up for part
one.
3.
Yeah.